Do you have neighbors? I have neighbors. I have neighbors all over the place. I had neighbors behind me file complaints about my house, and I took care of it, and she doesn't do it anymore because I don't give her a freaking reason to complain about my house. I had a neighbor across the street burnt her house down. How many people are living in the house again? 12 people live in the house with no electricity. The fire started from an extension cord that was stealing electricity from a neighbor to power all the shit going on in the house with the 12 people living there. It burned down. And I think just this week, when was that? That was like this winter, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
When it burnt down, it was like way earlier this year.
Right before or after Christmas.
Oh, yeah. It was like, oh, it was before Christmas, wasn't it? Because I was like thinking like it was because of the lights. Because the one house like next to it, I thought it was the one that caught on fire because it had all those lights. But no, it was that house. Yeah, it was before Christmas, and they were just tearing that house down this week. It was like burnt. It was so burnt, and like it burnt the van in the driveway of the house next to it, and the house next to it got like singed, but it didn't burn down. But anyway, yeah, neighbors. Let's see, the neighbor right across the street, before I moved here, had been busted selling drugs. Um, the house to the north, when I first moved in, had a bad barking dog. I mean, it would not shut up barking. I felt so bad for it. It was just gone one day. I hope it was. I hope it was okay. They had a lot of junk in their backyard, like old tractors and car and stuff. But these, um, I have new neighbors moving to that house now. It had been abandoned for several years, hadn't it, Devin?
Mm-hmm.
And it got didn't it get broken into a few months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the cop came by and asked, where we were at such a time, and it was like, we weren't even here. We were gone on vacation, weren't we, when it got broke into? That's right. We were gone that whole weekend, and we come back, and the cops were like interrogating us. It's like, we weren't even here, man. And nothing of ours was stolen while we were gone, so I don't know. But didn't this neighbor next door here, got their stuff stolen too on like Memorial Day weekend last year? Or was it Labor Day weekend? It was something. But I know the neighbor over there. It wasn't the one that's living there now, but the one that lived there before.
No, I
thought it was. Oh,
Is that
anyway,
why they moved out?
Maybe. Um, I remember their house was really nasty, and the people that were cleaning it out after they left were like puking out the back door because it was so bad. They were cleaning it up.
That was from the family before.
That was from the family before. The family that's there now they're pretty quiet. I think whoever works or lives there goes to work and comes home roughly the same time as me because I almost always see them leaving either they've left just before I have, or they're leaving when I do. And occasionally they'll get home right when I do too. Uh, Notice how I'm not mentioning any of their names. I don't know my neighbors. I don't go over and borrow a cup of sugar. I don't know my neighbors. I'm pretty sure the neighbors to the south don't have any kids. or if they do, I've never seen them or heard them. But the neighbors that are just moving into the north, they got kids. They're kind of loud. I know they're just moving in, and people get excited moving in and stuff, but just, chilling with the door open, just hearing the stuff. I mean, you get used to the silence, I guess. I'm not used to them noisy neighbors. Because, like I said, the neighbors over there, they're pretty quiet. I think the most interaction I've ever had with the neighbors is like I went to take the trash out at like 1 a.m. in the fall one time last year, I think, and they were like all sitting around a little fire pit in the backyard. One of them little metal fire ring things that you can just throw on the ground and make a little fire pit. And they were like all just completely silent and not moving. And I just wondered if I was in a zombie movie for a second or something. But I just like took the trash out, went back in, was like, maybe we should get my baseball bat, I don't know.
Is that even the same neighbors?
Yes, that's the same neighbors. This was like right after they moved in.
Okay.
I think they were having like a little moving in party or something.
I have to ask because we seem to go through.
Yeah,
neighbors.
I think we've had 3 different families living on the house south to us. The house north of us, like I said, it had some. I don't even know if they were still living there when you moved in.
Well, there were 2 families living there at one point.
Yeah, there were. It's funny because the house looks just about the same size as this house from the outside, but it's actually a 2-story house and it's quite a bit bigger than this one. I don't know. Maybe there's like gold hidden on the walls here or something, and this house is actually bigger than I think it is. Who knows? I'm about to tear down my walls to find out. But it had a nice big basement. I don't know how big my attic is though, because the genius who built this house put the way to get into the attic above the basement stairs. So you got to get some crazy ladder to go up in the hole. I mean, it's not one of those drop down ladder hole things. It's just like a piece of wood over a hole, and you crawl up in it and get to the attic. Who knows what the hell's up there? Probably a lot of water damage stuff because I've had roof trouble from the tornado in 2006. Gosh, that's been a while back. But I got a new roof since then, so it's cool. It's fine. But yeah, neighbors and homes. I'm debating whether I should introduce myself to these new neighbors. I never bothered to introduce myself to any of my other neighbors. When I moved in, they haven't. Have they tried to come over and say hey or anything? Have they said hi to you when you go out on the porch and chill?
No, not really.
Oh, really?
The grandma keeps has a watchful eye on me, and
have you seen him interact with Potato at all? Has Potato gone over to him?
I have not noticed that.
Okay. I don't know. Neighbors. I don't live in an apartment complex or anything. I think when I lived at my last apartment, I did interact with my neighbors though. I had a party and my neighbors came and crashed my party. Actually, they were pretty cool because after my party, they invited me up to their party. And the guy had a cool poster of a squirrel with his, that squirrel with the big nuts, and it's like, hey, ladies, basically. But still, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I had a good time. That's like the best neighbors I've had before. I'm trying to think of the other places I don't think any other place that I've had cool neighbors. Um, no, no. That's about it. Do you talk to your neighbors? Do you got cool neighbors? Leave your answers in the comments section down below. Tell me about your neighbors. Would you be my neighbor? I don't know if you like my hood. I've told y'all about it pretty much. Come live in my basement, maybe. Would that make you my neighbor? I don't know. Live in my garage. Live in my neighbor's garage. So I sit here and you can see this window here. It's the blinds are kind of messed up, and that probably looks pretty creepy from the neighbors. But I can turn my head and look at there's like this garage at the neighbor's house, and the door, they always leave the door open just to creak. So every now and then I'll look over there just to see if like somebody's peeking out from the garage. Not really. I don't really give a crap. I'm just saying that, but there probably is. Just saying. Can't see it in the dark though. I'll look right in the daytime. Anyway, if you subscribe to my channel, I'll consider you my neighbor, I guess. That doesn't mean I'll come visit your channel, because I'm a shitty neighbor. But I'll mow my lawn. Okay? I mow. I'm not gonna mow your lawn. I may mow the strip that's like between your house and my house. Just because that's the courteous thing to do. So I don't know. If you visit me, that's cool. Um, just don't bother me while I'm sleeping. That's all I ask. And don't like run into my air conditioner with your lawnmower. Okay? So have a good day. If you need some sugar, feel free to stop by. Bye bye.